Hello, what's going on? So this character is a thing. New character being released. I just kind of wanted to make a different take on her in comparison to others because everyone's going, oh, lure this, lure that. First of all, she's really hot. And yes, if you look purely at her kit, she is, trying to be a lure, but sorry, I think this is a bit loud. Maybe not. I think there's a couple of things that people aren't realizing with her. So first thing, I'm sure there's a couple of people who've been going around saying it as well as me, but she's 5 speed less than Lure, right? Lure's 120 base speed, and she's already kind of pushing it on her limit of like what people will want to build. She's like 115, right? She's 1 speed faster than Flidica. Most people kind of go for like a 280 Flidica. Obviously, if you go higher, you can have people who maybe they want to build their Flidica to be better than most people's. But like, I think the standard is about like 280, right? Like I saw a 300 one today, but I just don't see that being the norm with her. And then, like, even if you did, right, why wouldn't you just put the gear on your lure, right? Like, your lure is going to be 6 feet speed faster. Like, let's say you go, like, 300, right? You could have just had a 306 lure. I don't see the point in not, because, problem with this character, for me, is you can just spam blue units into her. Like, if you just, like, go Karina, Shu, whoever, right? Just any blue units. She can't really do anything, because she has to hit to proc her abilities. Like, okay, yeah, her S2 is still really good. But I can't see myself building her to use an RTA. I think people are overreacting. I think people need to be reacting a little bit more to her artifact. But yeah, if you look at the comments, like, people already wanted Lua nerfed, so I don't think they'd bring out a character that was in any way similar to Lua. I mean, like it was said on E7WC, like Jenna Zad was talking about how he wanted Lua nerfed briefly. I think even G-Clef reiterated it on, I think, the final stream. I think both of that was. I don't think Smilegate are stupid people, right? Maybe it's a bit of a wild take to make. And I'm trying to keep this video short, but I don't think Smilegate as a company are stupid. I think they know full well that this will not be what people expect it to be. And I think it brings up a very interesting point as well. Before we move on, talking about her completely. When have you seen a red unit be released and it actually be good? You can say Hua, Ed, after he got buffed. But you don't really see many red units in the meta, right? Melissa, obviously, Abigail is not that great. The only ones you really find is Politis, Ed, and Caesarea. That's about it. Off the top of my head, that's all I can think of. A-Raz has kind of fell off, and they all kind of get stomped by the same one rat as well. if you see an opponent just go like 2 red units, the first thing anybody thinks is, okay, I'll just play Shu then, because Shu just kind of keeps them all in check. And okay, yeah, she's a little bit less scared of Shu because of a bind, but it's still a 50-50, right? Like, a character is not busted if she's 50-50ing people. Like, please stop. Stop this nonsense. Right? She's not that busted. I think her S1 is a mistake, if I'm being honest. It's just a straight mistake. ALA was already busted. We did not need another one like this. And her S2, I'm actually really happy with. What I would like to have seen is, instead of Ignore Efras on here, I would like to have seen Soul Burn for an extra turn on here, whereas this already grants an extra turn. So, for example, you could go press this first, Soul Burn it, and then go into this. So you can kind of go vice versa, depending on the matchup, right? Because then, like, there's times that you're going to be want to press in this first, for example, against Ed. And then you're going to want to go into this. But yeah, obviously she'll be run on Guiding Light, right? Like, Guiding Light, most busted artifact of the game. But then moving on to her artifact, is this not just Fliddicker's best in slot? I was listening to someone say that yesterday. Not yesterday, today. After it got shown, and it looks like it. Fliddicker's best in slot. No more needing Ran for death breaks as well, I guess. But yeah, I think that she is a sign of how powerful a red unit must be to be considered, even before they're released, to be broken. I think the people going, oh no, this is the end of the game, and you know, like, of course there's gonna be doom posters, like, no matter what. But like, I saw people on Twitter like actually just like begging E7 Global to like nerf her. And it's like, we haven't even seen her yet. I think, right, I'm gonna make my prediction, because I do this quite often, you know. I did it with Green Lilius, and I was I was right, of course I was. Even a champ player like myself can kind of predict how people will turn out. In fact, I think that she's going to be pretty much a joke to the community. Remember when we were worried about this unit? And I think she's going to be basically used in arena only. I don't see any use for a character that's 115 boost speed. Even if you make her 290, like, it doesn't matter. Right? Like, it genuinely just does not matter whatsoever. What speed you want to go at. Because if you go 290, right, like, even my Para, is outspeeding that, and I think more importantly is that if you go first picking nahkwol, this new character, I'm telling you right now, this is what I'm doing, right? I'm pressing this, right, and then I'm going over here to this. Then I'm going over here to this. Then I'm going over here to this. Right? And then I'm going... who do I go? If she's not banned, I guess Lua. If she is banned, then Para. And to be honest, do I even need to do that? Because, like, you ban P-Flan, my Sid's got 2 speed imprints, right? You ban my Sid, I have P-Flan, Wanderer Silk, Veronica. You ban Wanderer Silk or Veronica, then, well, yeah. I think, like, I don't even need to give a fuck about any of your other units, because I can just bully that one. If that's your opener, then I'm just gonna laugh at it. I mean, we all have lure, so, or we at least all should have lure at this point. But anyway, I think, what was I going to say? I think we're going to have to wait and see. Obviously, I can make my predictions all I want, but I'm not the man with all the speed and all of that. I'm slowly getting there. I can make a 299 run now, although you wouldn't look good. Well, yeah. I know it's a bit of a short video. Probably not got too much information. But I mean, I just think that the community's just overrating her a little bit too much. I think they're expecting her to do a little more than she perhaps will do. And I think it's kind of worrying that the community reacts this badly all the time, because it isn't a good look, right? Like, if you're an outsider looking at this, you're like, well, I don't want to play this game. This game's fucking dog shit. The fans are always mad, and Smilegate never listened to them, clearly, even though it's clearly not true, right? Like, they listen to us all the time. ML Ken's literally getting a buff tomorrow. I think that he's more of a problem than anybody else. Has anyone fucking seen that guy? Jesus Christ. I think the community stop freaking out over things that maybe aren't so necessary to freak out about. I think, okay, maybe I shouldn't talk about it, but the win trading situation that's going on right now, people talking about some individuals in the community win trading, in higher elo. Obviously, again, I'm, a barely champ player. How much do I know? Right, but there's a Reddit post from one of them, and they said it depends what you class as win trading. If our guildies are just saving time by yielding to one another, and it's like, okay, I need to specify this first actually. I don't know whether you win or lose, like let's say you win one and lose one versus the same guy, are you on the same points? Because I know in champ or whatever, I can go like win 2 games, lose 1, and I'll still be climbing. Like, I'm 45% win rate for a reason, right? And I was still climbing. So again, I don't know what it will be like at Legend or like High Emperor, but I assume it'd be the same. It's been the same since I was in Bronze. How do you think I got out of Bronze? And then, so there's that, and then the second thing is like, if you're not wasting each other's time, then all you're actually doing is giving each other an extra fucking game, which is win trading, right? You're giving them an extra game to play, where it's like, okay, you can only play this many games in the last 8 hours of the grind, right? In the last 8 hours of time there is left, you're giving them an extra game. That extra game might get them an extra 7-8 points. And that might be the difference between that guy who's been grinding, but hasn't had, but has had ropers and people like that stopping them, versus this other guy who's having his guildmates in the same call, and they're like, okay, I'll just quit this time because we want to save time. We want to fight all the others. And to add on to that, let's say, for example, said guilds were just like 30 members were at the bottom of the leaderboard, right? And they were all from the same guild. That doesn't look good, right? Like, that straight up does not look good. It doesn't even feel right when you think about it, right? Like, you're not even fighting your own guild mates, so it just comes down to your opponents. Like, I can't explain it properly, but basically you aren't fighting each other, right? So you're just fighting everybody else around you, and then they are having to fight everybody else, and they're having to fight your entire guild. Anyway, bit of a longer video than I was expecting. I hope I kind of made sense of that last little bit. For me, I definitely consider that win trading, but I think that's not for me to decide. I think it's for the community to decide and draw a line. I hope that the community decides to draw the right line, and not just kind of go, it's whatever. But yeah, if you like these insights and stuff like that, I don't know why. Feel free to stick around. I'm not saying subscribe or anything, just maybe go check out another video. I started doing a little bit more serious videos because I feel like there's quite a lot that there's a very one-sided argument in the community about a lot of things. Everyone's going, oh, we want Lua banned, we want Lua nerfed, we want 3-3 brands, we want all this, and we don't look at it from the and play devil's advocate. And while sometimes I do agree with the points being made, I will still kind of play devil's advocate in my head, where it's like, okay, well, they want Angelica nerfed, and yeah, that's fine, I agree with that. But at the same time, if I was to play devil's advocate, she's kind of a necessary evil. Like, she has to be there to counter cleave. Like, and that's how I use her. I don't use her as some fucking piece of shit, right? I use her purely for countering cleave, basically, at this point, because that's what I built her like. Obviously, she's full of unreforged gear, but she works. So yeah. Hope you guys kind of understand where I'm going with that. There are going to be obviously videos coming out. I'm just still deciding on how I want to make thumbnails. If anybody's got ideas, just send it an image link over. And I'll kind of try and not copy it, but I'll try and do something similar, right? Try and take inspiration from it. I kind of didn't like my original ones, although they were okay, I guess. But yeah, see ya.